Are you interested in getting into tech but do not know how to code and know nothing about programming? Well, if that is you, today I'm going to go over 4 different tech jobs that you can get started right now that do not require any coding. I'll go over the skills, the rules, as well as what an entry-level salary might look like. Okay, the first one is a UX designer, which I can speak to fully because I am a UX designer. I do not know how to code, so I can say for sure that you do not need that skill to get this job. So a few high-level things of what a UX designer does and what are the responsibilities. We conduct user research, which means that we work with our customers to ask them what they like about a product, testing new features. There's a lot of that customer engagement. We take that feedback back and then we create wireframes and then we turn them into high fidelity designs and eventually prototypes. So those are like the actual designs of what finally gets built. That's really what I think is the fun part, is all of the design work, because you're trying to come up with what is the best flow, what makes the most sense for users, going to be the easiest to accomplish a task while still creating an interface that looks aesthetically pleasing. That is not going to deter from the overall goal. So we also do some testing with that once that is complete as well. So again, very, very high level. I have way more videos talking about what actually goes into being a UX designer. When it comes to salaries, we looked at a few different places: Glassdoor, levels.fyi, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and honestly, the numbers all over the place. So I would expect, from just also what I'm seeing, a entry-level UX designer could be anywhere from $65,000 to $85,000 a year. And again, this is just such a hard number to quantify because it depends on location and industry, but I'm talking just entry level. That's kind of what I'm seeing when I'm even doing like a quick overall peruse. So not bad. Honestly, I think if you guys are starting out, especially if you have a prior degree or other years of experience working a different type of job, I would definitely push for the higher end of that. And then on the high end of being a UX designer, it's anywhere from 110 to 150K. So lots of trajectory to look forward to. Okay, I'm gonna pause right here because, as I mentioned briefly, I am a UX designer. But previously, I was an interior designer. I did a career switch. I was able to do that career switch because of a bootcamp that I did through Springboard, who is sponsoring this part of today's video. Springboard's course is 100% online. It is very, very beginner friendly. So if you don't really know anything about tech or UX design, this is an amazing program for you guys. The curriculum is really well paced. It includes one-on-one mentorship, career coaching, and then there also is a 4-week externship, which is really like you're doing a real world project with a real client. And they have a whole new segment all dedicated to AI. I really recommend Springboard because that is how I got my start in tech. I was able to create what I think is a pretty good portfolio. And I use that to apply to jobs. And then once I finally secured a job, I use that to really push a higher end of the salary offering than what they gave me, because I felt pretty confident in the work that I created. So their next design cohort to be part of the UX UI bootcamp is July 8th, is that next segment begins. The deadline to be in that cohort by July 8th is July 3rd. So you've got a little bit over a week from now. Use the code STEPHANIEM to get $1,000 off that course. And if getting into tech is interesting to you, then I think this bootcamp is a great way to get started. The next one is product manager. Level, quick fire again. Product managers are responsible for the strategy, roadmap, and feature definition, I would say. The feature definition of a product. Typically decide the product vision. And they don't do that like in a silo. They get information from the top down, I'm sure, from like the C-suite, from other departments like sales, marketing, engineering. So they have to work closely with all those people, but it is really cool that they help define the product vision for wherever it is that they're going. They really manage that entire product life cycle from initial idea to product launch. You know, they work closely with engineering, with design like me, marketing, to make sure that features actually get delivered when they say they're going to be delivered, and kind of just the master of ceremonies, let's call them. When it comes to salaries, I've seen entry level ranging from 70 to 90, 95K. Further along in your career, it could be anywhere from 120, 150, all the way up to 250K. So I think the bigger company that you're at, the more they rely on product managers. So you do have a lot more work, but The pay does not hurt. Next is technical writer slash UX writer. This person creates clear and concise documentation for the technical product. So that can be anything from help guides to the copy that you see on a design, help files, anything online documentation that they're relaying to the customer. This writer is most likely responsible for all of that. So they are the ones that take all like the technical stuff that is told to them and distill it down in a way that makes sense for regular people. So we can't assume that our customers are going to be as technical as us. They most likely are not. So they don't work in tech, we do. So we just have to make sure that when we are presenting this information to them, it's not going way over their head. So entry level for a technical slash UX writer can be anywhere from 55 to 75K. And then a more experienced writer will most likely get something closer to approximately 90 to 120. Then we've got the digital marketing role, marketing manager, whatever you want to call it. I think most people don't necessarily think of this as a tech role, but there is such a big effort to when something is designed and developed and like ready to go and you're ready to push it out to your customers, there is a lot that goes into actually making that happen. You just don't press a button and hope people find it. This is where the digital marketer comes in. This is the person that would plan and execute digital campaigns to promote whatever it is that is the new product or the new feature. Managing SEO and SEM, email marketing, social media, online advertising, all of that. And then they're analyzing those metrics and seeing how that performs, whether it's adoption numbers, usage, any types of issues, bugs, that kind of thing. So you have to be a little bit technical in understanding of what is being put out there, as well as tracking all of that. For salaries, it's kind of a big range for entry level. It could be anywhere from $50,000 to $90,000. And then for somebody that has a little bit more experience, it can really, really ramp up and range as well from anything I've seen from 90 to 110 starting all the way up to 150 plus. So a lot of range, again, depending on experience and where you work and what industry. Hopefully this gave you guys some insight on potential jobs in tech that might be good for you. I know programming and coding is scary, but if any of these roles interest you and tech is where you want to be, definitely check them out. A great way to do that is through Springboard. The link is down in my description box. And if this has piqued your interest in what a UX designer does, check out this video here where I go over the day in the life of a UX designer.